Hello again, Holland. This video is just to show off a couple of my witchy things and other personally significant items, altar items and such. That large bowl on the left is for scrying use with water. The smaller one, they're both empty obviously right now, is used for water alongside the bowl of earth here. And incense, fire, candles, all that good stuff. In my bowl for earth here, I have a little piece of my mint that I've been growing. I planted last year, and it is at the moment overabundant, we could say. And overabundant is probably an understatement. I have it here in my bowl of earth as a reminder that you reap what you sow, and hopefully you pick the right things to plant, you care for what you plant, and you enjoy it in its fullness when it comes to fruition. It's a piece of a Japanese maple tree that has died. Same thing happened to my favorite plant at the time that I planted last year. This is from my moonflower plant. And I keep those in a little bowl of earth that came up from where each of them grew. Have all of my birthstones in there. Let's see if we can see all of these. You can't really see all of them. I have azurite chrysocolla, green aventurine, garnet, emerald slab, that's my birthstone. And let's see if we can see the blue sapphire here. Now this piece of limestone here came from my brother and his wife. Went to Mexico, climbed the pyramid of Kukulkan in the very, very harsh wind and rain. And they got to the top and he grabbed that for me. It's one of my crystals here. I also have a couple of crystal pyramids. There's the rose quartz, and there's the clear quartz. It's just a little bit bigger. And if you've seen any of my other videos, you've probably seen it. You've probably seen these two alongside the glass pyramid at the edge of my table here. Now I'm sharing my altar items. I decided not to share my actual altar in my sacred space because then it wouldn't quite be so sacred. This is a chalice my mom picked up for me when she was in Jerusalem. Bought that at a little street shop, and I have used it many times. Well, a hand-carved wooden owl. Found that in an antique store. And I love those spiral eyes. This guy called out to me when I went there. Really, I saw this thing across the room, and it's the biggest antique store in the city. It's one of those places it's bigger once you're inside. It goes underground, and I saw this thing across 3 rooms, made a whole lot of other stuff, and said, "I'm so taking you home." Same shop, I found this Aztec head. Saw from across the room also. At first I thought it was Mayan. And believe it or not, I noticed that pyramid before the face. That pyramid the face rests on. Got closer. Look at those facial characteristics. That's definitely more Aztec than Mayan. And that headdress. The jade color, the gold lining the steps. I love this. There is my Heather cabinet. I keep, about half of all my tarot decks in there. And sometimes my stones go in there. And my pendants, which I'll get to in a moment. It's my little statuette of Isis. Next to my bamboo I got last year, and that red stone cat over there that I've had for about 15 years as a gift from an ex-girlfriend. You can probably tell by looking at his ears that it's fallen apart, and I was not at all willing to throw that away. I did a lot of super gluing, screwing up my fingers, putting it back together, but I got it, except for a couple of missing pieces there atop the ears. I have more on Isis. There's a little mini figurine of a black Isis. It's about 2 inches tall. And here is my Thoth statue. This is cool. Watch this. Now this is American Indian woman with, as you can see, those wings that light up. It looks really cool at night. Turn on the lights for now. I wanted you to see the wings in the relative darkness though, as they change colors. Turn on the lights. And I love this because she's holding up and kind of revering this image of a simpler time, a simpler life that is idealized. Let's look at the image. Isn't that nice? This lovely little gold and emerald cross here. Those aren't really emeralds in there. It's just emerald color. It wouldn't have been enough to say green. This belonged to my grandmother. I'm on the Italian side, on my mom's side, who passed away earlier this year. And so you can imagine this has a lot of personal meaning to it. There is my scrying mirror. And, oh hey, there's, it's got the reflection of my little Isis in there up on the cabinet. That's kind of cool. I use that together with the scrying bowl sometimes with water, a candle between them. This is the work of a local artist, and this down here, I'm not sure if that's supposed to represent anything in particular, but the face on here, isn't that cool? That is just an absolutely beautiful face. I love this because those earrings are from copper, and this reminds me of several African, specifically Egyptian, but other African faces from ancient lore. Different goddesses. I see many in one in that. And for whatever reason, I love the face. I got this for a birthday present. Oh, 4 years ago. That would be 2008. From someone who knows how much I love African history, culture, women, and music. Now here is that gorgeous Maxine Miller statuette of Hecate. What incredible detail on this. Take a look at this little by little. Isn't that amazing? Let me show you the back. Couple of voodoo dolls. Bought these in New Orleans. Now, voodoo isn't really my thing, but how do you go to New Orleans and not come back with some voodoo dolls? You know what I mean? These are, maybe more than anything else, reminders of just a great trip I had with my brother. Just decided to take a trip. We both did, since we rarely get to hang out for an extended period of time. We talked about places neither of us had been and said, let's go to New Orleans. And we did. Had a great time. Shop I got these in, at least that I got this one in, it's one of the coolest little places. There's this quiet guy in there that had a pale python wrapped around his head, and makes these himself. And anyways, I bought this. This has a little tag that says Voodoo Sex Goddess. Now, I have another statuette that I wanted to share, but I have not been able to fix it because although I had it wrapped incredibly well protected, my suitcase, the airlines still managed to crack it when they went through my things. And after that crack, it shattered even further, outright shattered, and have not been able to... I don't even know if it's worth putting back together. Anyways, it was it's called Lady of New Orleans. It was a singer. It was a woman posed in front of a microphone, and she was a skeleton, and yet had an afro, and was wearing a slinky red dress, and it was just the coolest thing. Would love to share it with you, but she's broken. Thanks, airlines, that I should mention. Okay, my pendants and rings. This ring I love so much. Quick story, I had been after something that was a bit more of a personal symbol than the average, Wicca symbols you see, since, I think Wicca is a beautiful religion. It's just, well, I'm not a Wiccan, but the triple moon happens to be a very, 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 I can't say it enough, very important symbol. I wanted a triple moon with a pentacle superimposed over the full moon, or full circle between the waxing and waning, and I found it. This was through a company online. Can we see that there? Is it staying in focus? There we go. I love that. I went through so much to get this. At first they'd forgotten about my order, and I had to remind them. And when I did, they told me they didn't have the size I'd asked for. Gave them more time, then finally they did, and shipped it to the wrong address. And after about 5 months, I finally got it with a couple of extra stones, and they even sent me an extra pendant as a please come back and see us kind of gift. And I'm going to share that in a second. First, show you my Isis pendant. You can see dangling over my Les Miserables face of my shirt here. Like a little third eye. There you go. And that blood red stone set there. Anyone familiar with the image of Isis recalls seeing this atop her head. Usually you see one of two symbols atop her head. The sun disk enclosed in the horns, or that at the very top there, that pointy symbol. That symbol at the top, you see, that is a throne. And the word Isis means throne. Usually you just see that or that. And I loved that we get them both here with her name at the bottom. Anyways. There's another Isis figure. It's very lightweight. It's my Ankh with the pineal gland, or eye of Horus above it. And anyone who's not already familiar with the comparison, I encourage you to go online and compare the shape of that eye, and including those figures just beneath it with the curl, to the shape of the pineal gland. Very, very nice silver silver colored anyways, Celtic cross. This is what I got for free for everything that happened along the way of my getting my ring. Very, very nice. Now I showed you my Hather cabinet where I keep a lot of my tarot decks. Also, some of them I keep the more expensive ones, and or older ones I keep in boxes. If you consider Kabbalistic Tree of Life and the significance Crowley revealed between the numbers 5 and 6. I like thinking of that, looking at the pentacle within the 6-pointed star there. I keep in that the Visconti tarot. And this simple Celtic weave here. Let me back this up. Here I keep the Solabusca deck. This was, my God, how much did that cost me? I don't even remember. A lot. It's out of print. Beautifully decorated floral design about a pentacle here. Keep the Oswald Worth tarot in there. This black and silver Celtic cross over a wooden design here. And here I keep the Alchemical tarot. That, my God, how much did this one cost me? This is one of my favorite decks and well worth the, I think it was, spent about $150 on this. And this is, I think, a newer design for this box here. What do they call this? The Beauty of the Pentagram, Devotion of the Pentacle, something like that. Anyways, I like the multicolored design here with the green and red, silver, black, gold. Devotion of the Pentacle, I'm pretty sure that's it. Look at the Guardians here. I love that. Been trying to find a box like this that has, you know, that resembles the Ark of the Covenant. Has the two angels, which are pretty much really just Isis and Nephthys, you know, with their wings enfolded facing each other. And there's one or two designs like that available online, but although they call themselves tarot boxes, the space inside is not large enough to hold even my mini decks. So I'm hoping to find, if anybody knows where I can find one with a bigger space. Actually, a bigger space than you see now, too. I would love to know about it. In this one, I keep my mini version of the Tot tarot deck, which is the one I use personally most often. I mean, personally, I mean, for readings for myself, I keep in there. This is the High Priestess, a very large violet box. Very, very nice. The box is handcrafted, as was the tarot deck by artist Jennifer Galasso. That is the High Priestess card on the front there, that she lined with silver here. And this is a large box. And of course, inside I keep her deck, the Crystal Visions. Crystal Visions deck. I also keep in this box, since there's room for it, the large version of the Tot tarot deck. That's it for the boxes. My little altar bell. See the pentacle on that? Yeah. Okay, self-explanatory. Another triple moon here. Larger one. This is my wonderful candle holder. You should recognize immediately the Maiden, Mother, and Crone holding hands, which I have my favorite color in there for candle, silver gray. This is actually kind of somewhere between silver and gray. That's what makes this my favorite color. Let's look at this from above here, because that's just nice. Let's see them up close. How awesome is that? Another beautiful candle holder there. I think the artist's name is Paul Borda. My incense holder obviously needs to be cleaned. Pentacle, Celtic weave, triple moon, and it's silver. It's another wall hanging of mine. And a stone finish here that's matte before Heather on the throne. And there's my Heather sistrum, ritual use. Thanks for checking out my stuff. See you next time.